Every year, more than 600,000 people go missing in the United States. Many are found, but a haunting few vanish under circumstances so bizarre, they seem torn from the pages of a horror novel. This is the terrifying true story of Jonathan Reed, a quiet neighbor who vanished overnight from a peaceful suburb, leaving behind an untouched home, a barking dog, and an attic secret that still haunts the block to this day. Jonathan wasn't the kind of man you'd expect to make headlines. He was in his early 50s, polite, soft-spoken, and almost invisible in his routine. For 12 years, he lived in the same red brick house on Birchwood Lane, never married, no close friends, no enemies. Every morning, he took his Labrador, Toby, for a walk. Rain or shine, like clockwork, he was out by 6:30 a.m. But on the morning of October 17th, the leash remained hanging. The dog, silent. Jonathan was gone. At first, it was brushed off. Maybe he went on a trip. Maybe he was unwell. But by the second day, Toby's howling echoed through the neighborhood. Neighbors knocked on his door. No answer. Lights were on in the hallway, not flickering, just static. Mail overflowed from the box. On day 4, someone noticed all the curtains had been tightly drawn from the inside. And by day 5, the police were called. When the officers arrived, the house appeared undisturbed. No signs of forced entry. No broken windows. But the eeriness began the moment they stepped inside. The air was ice cold, despite the heating system being switched on. The TV was still playing white noise. The coffee machine had freshly ground beans in it, as if someone had planned to use it that very morning. Toby was found trembling in the hallway, staring up at the ceiling, growling low, not in fear, but in warning. The house was searched room by room. In the bedroom, nothing out of place. In the bathroom, the mirror was oddly fogged, as if someone had recently taken a hot shower. But the attic door, it was slightly open. Police climbed up, expecting insulation and dust. Instead, they found deep scratch marks along the attic floor, and a rancid smell of something that had been hiding too long. Then, the false panel was discovered. Behind it, a crawlspace. And within that crawlspace, something nobody expected. It was a hidden room. Small. Cramped. Covered in old photographs, maps, and notes. All of Jonathan's neighbors were on the walls, with strings connecting their houses, dates, and strange symbols. But the most disturbing detail? A worn-out chair, positioned directly beneath a drilled hole in the attic floor, perfectly aligned with Jonathan's bedroom below. Someone had been watching him. For how long, no one could tell. There was also a journal. Not Jonathan's regular one, but something much darker. It contained frantic writings. I hear breathing when I sleep. Something moves through the walls. He's in the house, pretending to be me. The final entry read, if I disappear, seal the attic. Burn the house. He must not spread. Police began interviewing the neighbors. Mrs. Kelsey, from across the street, recalled hearing Jonathan scream 2 nights before he vanished, a scream that was suddenly cut off. Another neighbor claimed she saw him watering his lawn at midnight, only he didn't respond when she waved, and his movements were off. Too stiff. Like someone mimicking human behavior. Others started speaking of electrical interference, TVs turning on by themselves, devices short-circuiting, strange noises through baby monitors, and always, around midnight. And then there was the man who lived next door, Brian. He came forward with a recording. He had been suspicious of noises in his attic and placed a motion-activated recorder. One night, it captured heavy breathing, then the faint sound of whispering, "You're next." The audio has never been publicly released. And Brian moved away shortly after, without saying goodbye. As for Jonathan, he was never found. No credit card use. No camera footage of him leaving. Nothing. The crawlspace was sealed. The room covered in drywall. But strange things continued to happen. The new family that moved into Jonathan's house reported their dog barking at the ceiling every night. The porch light still turns on, exactly at 12:03 a.m., even when the bulb is removed. Neighbors began referring to the house simply as Reed's shadow. Some believe he uncovered a secret, something not of this world. Others think he was being watched for years, and when he tried to expose the truth, the thing watching him took his place. So, what really happened to Jonathan Reed? Was it a case of mental breakdown? An obsessed stalker? Or did he uncover something far more sinister, something that still lingers in the shadows of Birchwood Lane? Drop your theories in the comments below. And if you think this was chilling, wait until you hear about the family who moved into a haunted farmhouse in Missouri and found hundreds of bones buried beneath their kitchen floor. Click the next video, if you dare.